Hello, welcome to my channel. Three of Cups today. Maybe rather appropriately or maybe not. It is raining very heavily, so you might be able to hear during this video the rain against my window. I'm really sorry about that. It also means I've got to have the overhead light on so you can see my shadows. And it's really windy too. Down our road, several wheelie bins have been knocked over. I think ours is so heavy with junk, I'm hoping it's going to be okay. But if I have to run out and stop and restart this video, that might be why. So yeah, there's some sort of storm happening, I think, elsewhere in the UK, and we haven't got the worst of it, but it still feels pretty horrible. It's really foul. Right. So back to the Three of Cups. I noticed, because I've been doing this over, this project's like nearly 18 months now, and I choose cards randomly. I try and mix it up a bit with the songs and the albums and the different suits, but I choose them randomly. So I've noticed that unconsciously, this wasn't deliberate at all, that I've been avoiding the threes. So far, I've only done the Three of Swords. And I thought, that still got to do the Three of Pentacles and still got to do the Three of Wands. And I thought, that's interesting psychologically. What does that say about the threes? What do I struggle with? And I'm really pleased with the Caperush song choice. It's a song I really like. But yeah, I'm not really that keen on this card. And my Mercury, it's Mercury in Cancer. My Mercury is in Cancer. I've got a bit of a problem with it. And maybe especially this card, which was one of the first tarot decks, I had. So this is from the Osho Zen. This one feels more ceremonial, very formal to me. It is a celebration, but it is, there's a stiffness there. But this is complete. I think it seems quite interesting to see these two next to each other, because this is complete abandon. They've gone out. They would go out in that rain. Now they're so joyous. But I think I struggle with it because I think I have. So psychologically, if I think about all the things, especially growing up, that I associated with threes, it would be three's a crowd, piggy in the middle, gooseberry, being a spare part, all that idea. And also of school, like when I was growing up at secondary school, I often had like periods of time when I didn't have a best friend. And I remember I used to dread going into school those days, because I would think, teachers often say, partner up with someone, and you got to choose who you were. And I think, I don't know who I'm going to be a partner with today. Sometimes it was a case of looking around and see, whose best friend is ill today, so perhaps they'll go with me, or, and then the kind of sinking when you think, work in a three, because the exercise you had to do was never quite suitable for threes often. It was something designed for pairs. Perhaps they're better at school now at avoiding that, but I used to hate that feeling of, so many things at school were designed around couples, around twos. And I think that's hard. So maybe it comes from that. I think it also comes from me knowing that because I'm autistic, even like a celebration, even like something joyous that involves a lot of people, I do prefer one-to-one interaction. And even three people feels more draining than a one-to-one interaction for me. This seems a very extroverted card, and, well, I'm not an extrovert either. So I think for all those things, I've struggled with this card. So I've had to really think outside the box with it, and outside this image of three people coming together and there being a celebration, and starting to think, with tarot, it goes back centuries, doesn't it? And there is so many ideas. And I think if we tap into, not all those ideas are beneficial or helpful, of course. Some of those we need to reject. and especially the ones which were informed by the hierarchies and the patriarchy of those old societies. But some of them are still useful. We don't throw away, I think, all those belief systems. And I was thinking, well, threes is also associated, of course, in the church. It is the Trinity. It is God, God the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit. It is, if you go back even further, even before Christianity, it would be the three goddesses. It could be the three ages of women. So it could be maiden, mother, crone. So those three stages of our life. It is, of course, the two parents and the baby, isn't it? So it is, that ties in with the Empress, and the creativity is something new coming in. And maybe just on a broader thing, it is mind, body, and spirit. So I think there is a spiritual aspect to this. I mean, this is which is here is shown with that abandonment, but it does not have to be in a group. If you're an introvert like me, it does not have to be in a group. So I'm going to show you now three of cups that I really like, and then we'll go on to the Kate Bush song. So I like, as an introvert who likes to run company, I really like this one of Sweet Twilight, which suggests that you can have that feeling of celebration and connection with nature, with yourself, with the earth. You don't have to have a group of two friends and have a party. You can be here, happy in yourself, in your own space, and feel fulfilled. So that is this emotional fulfillment that you can feel with the Three of Cups. And I think this is echoed as well in the Marielle. We've got more of a sense of space here, and this overflowing, the water is just channeling down this feeling of euphoria almost, which I suppose you could say here again, but maybe without the triggering thing of the three women together, which somehow I have issues with. And then this one. So I didn't buy any tarot decks at all last year, and that was partly of my motivation of doing my own tarot deck, was to stop buying so many. And then January came and I started buying again. But no, I've bought one, and hopefully I won't buy any more now. I don't know, we'll see. But it's an interesting one. It's the Tyldwict tarot, if you don't know it. And I was thinking this is a fascinating, this probably was one of the reasons why I bought the deck, actually, because it does have these really unusual, new, fresh takes on certain cards. And I thought this Three of Cups is really interesting because we are outside the house, we're outside the gate. It almost looks like, superficially, I think if I hadn't seen that, I would have thought, oh, this is a Five of Pentacles. This is someone who is locked out. But I wonder if it is more about leaving the house, leaving this home, because in the Tyldwict, a lot of the cards are actually set in this. I'll just quickly show you another card, actually, just in case you don't know the deck. Sorry about the shine. But, they're all a little bit hard to see the way it's printed. But this is the King of Wands. And you can see this beautiful palatial. So this is inside the house. This is what it looks like. And a lot of the cards are inside the house. And we don't have people in the deck. So it's really nice to sort of transport yourself there. But I think this is someone leaving the house. But I think maybe they are leaving with a sense of joy. They're going out on their own to find their own friendships and family. If you think of it that way, as a step that about us choosing our own family. And there's that phrase, isn't there, which can be really helpful, I think, if we have had a difficult childhood or upbringing, or times when we have felt like on the outside. The idea that we have a possibility to choose our own group, that is there, that those people that we can celebrate and be ourselves with. So let's go to the Kate Bush song choice. Now, this is Kashka from Baghdad. And I really love this song. I will link, there's a really nice live performance, or maybe it's not live, but it's in the studio of Kate Bush at the piano. It's really beautiful. So I'll try and find that again and link that, and do watch it if you haven't seen it. I get a sense of, someone, maybe a young woman, she's in this town, and she's walking in the evening, and there's this couple that are known amongst, her small town or her village. They are the outsiders. They have a less conventional relationship. And she's looking into, and maybe less conventional than their own family that she's used to. And they're looking into, she's looking into the window. She's seeing Kashka and her lover, and how happy they seem, how that they found their own joy. They know the way to be happy. I love those lyrics, and how that is a very individual choice for us. And I was also thinking how I think that has been one of my lessons, and it's probably one I'm still learning, to be honest. But I think certainly as a teen, but maybe, I mean, unfortunately, maybe as an adult, maybe until quite recently, that I've often thought that feeling loved and accepted is about being seen and loved and accepted by as many people as possible. But I think it is about finding people that we can be completely ourselves with. And that for me, in my life anyway, has been about adjusting my expectations and realizing that actually that might only be a small group of people in my life who really see me, really get me. But actually that's okay. Because the depth you get from that relationships, maybe that's better than being seen and admired on a surface level, where people don't ever really get to know the true you. So I think a song is about that. It is about, I don't know if I like that phrase, finding our tribe, only because I've heard it so much, but it's about that, isn't it? It's about finding where we are, where we can be truly loved and accepted in ourselves, even if that does not conform, and it probably doesn't, to what the rest of the society thinks. So it's a very positive message. And also how anyone who has a unconventional lifestyle or unconventional relationship, how much they can inspire other people, because they give permission to other people to be themselves as well, to realize that finding happiness is beyond the fairy tale that we're often told, that it can be in many different forms. And I think that for me is what, I'll just quickly say what Kate has said about Kashka from Baghdad, rather than me putting words into her, interpreting the song for her. But that is how I feel about the song. And also I read a really nice article, which I will try and link and find again as well, which said a similar thing about how growing up they found real kind of solace in this song. So she has said about the song, that actually came from a very strange American detective series. I mean, I think in a lot of these we've seen that she's really inspired by film and TV. They often come up in her songs. That I caught a couple of years ago, and there was a musical theme that they kept putting in. And they had an old house in this particular thing, and it was very moody, pretty, awful, serious thing. And it just inspired the idea of this old house somewhere in Canada or America with two people in it that no one knew anything about. And being a sort of small town, everybody wanted to know what everybody else was up to, And these particular people in this house had a very private thing happening. Okay, so it doesn't tell us a lot, but it's that sense of, I mean, I suppose also that's where it relates to that Tyldwict as well. In a way, that's actually very similar, isn't it? But that sense of looking in, seeing what other possibilities. I love walking in the evening, and when people haven't, that sounds awful, doesn't it? It feels like I'm snooping, but I'm not. But I love that, walking down in the evening and you see the lights. People haven't drawn their curtains yet, and you see the lights of people's houses and that warm glow from the house. There's something really lovely about that, especially in winter when it's just so cold outside and it's still wet and windy out here. Anyway, that is my take on the Three of Cups. I think I'm beginning to like this card a bit more now. And thank you, as always, so much for watching, and please let me know your thoughts. Thank you. Goodbye.